Real Estate and Chill podcast, the newest and coolest podcast. So tune in. Two experts discussing the real estate market. Loan officer James Chaudhry and associate real estate broker Kevin Iglesias. Beware, this is not another boring podcast. This right here is the shit you need to hear, respectfully.
Welcome back to the Real Estate and Chill podcast. I'm your host, James Chaudhry from United Mortgage, here with
Kevin Iglesias, associate broker with Realty Connect. Today in the building, we have the leader of the McPeak team at Serhant, all the way from Tribeca, New York. We have Sean McPeak in the building, guys. Let's go!
Yo, those like gunshots. They're like
those things
ring
are
off.
loud, man. Holy shit. Nice. I like it.
So, Sean, please introduce yourself. While he's wiping the confetti off.
My name is Sean McPeak. I work with Serhant in New York City, a company founded by Ryan Serhant a little less than a year ago. I specialize in new development sales in New York City. We do a lot of resales. We sell, marquee properties, townhouses, trophy listings, condos, co-ops, kind of jack of all trades in Manhattan and Brooklyn.
$1 million question. Do you have that BME?
I do have that BME.
For those that don't know, please let us know what that BME is.
It's big
money energy.
Yeah, big money energy. It's Ryan's book he released late last year. It's a great book. It's probably not like what most people think, just judging by its cover. It's very good advice on just how to attract, more opportunities and, just be a more positive person, basically. It's pretty sage advice.
Do I have that BME?
Yeah, you do. You have it.
Nah, he doesn't have that BME.
He's got BME.
He's got negative BME.
BME is not like explosive energy, so it's like money attraction energy. So.
Yeah. How long have you been in the business?
I've been in the business since late 2009 when it was like running into a burning building, joining real estate. So.
Oh wow.
You picked that crazy time to join, so you were. That's crazy.
Well,
how was that?
I mean, you're going to suck at it when you start anyway, so might as well just start when the market's kind of low. And rentals were very good back then in New York City, so you could just rent apartments, get paid pretty quickly, do high volume. No one was buying anything. So it was good to learn. And then I just I met really good mentors, brokers, and kind of just climbed the ladder, joining different teams. And, and then I started my own team in 2014 at Compass. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you always start selling ultra luxury real estate, or did you
No, man. My specialty was expired listings.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Good. Yeah, man. They used to call me the garbage man because I just pick up other people's trash.
Cha-ching all the way to the bank.
That's right. So my treasure is some other broker's trash at some point. It's a good way to cut your teeth because you can figure out how to remarket kind of problem listings, and you just kind of sharpen your skills because you're just dealing with a problem to begin with instead of just walking into something that sells in, the first open house or something like that. So I always enjoyed that aspect of being able to, kind of pride myself on actual skill and not just, maybe someone referred me a listing or, my uncles that had a JP Morgan or whatever. No, it wasn't I kind of just, scrapped for what I got.
And it's easy because it's you're not paying for the marketing. It's just there.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
It saves you a couple bucks.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just phone calls and grinding and, knocking on doors and doing whatever you got to do to, get in touch with people that did have a broker, but it didn't work out. So it can be interesting.
So when you made this switch, right, to Serhant, what was going through your mind? We talked off camera. You read the book.
Yeah.
And then.
I read Ryan. I'd always been a big fan of plagiarizing Ryan for a few years.
You're taller than him too. We've seen the picture. He's pretty tall.
I mean, not much.
Wait, how tall are you?
That's my boss, man. It's my CEO. I'm 6'4". He's right around there. I mean, I'm a little under 6'4", so is he.
Kevin said he was quitting yesterday because he was like, "You're taller than me. These guys are definitely taller than you." He was like, "I'm not taking a picture."
They're like the Russian dolls. It'll be a good pick. What was going through my head? I was looking for new development opportunities in New York after the pandemic. That's my passion in real estate is to sell new condos, basically being introduced to the market. And I was kind of looking for opportunities like that, and then Ryan reached out, and
So he reached out to you.
yeah.
So you got to be doing. I don't mean to cut you off. You got to be doing a crazy amount of volume for him to be reaching out.
Yeah, and some of the guys running, some of the people running his company, I had relationships with from previous stops, and I think I keep it very collegial, with whoever I work with, whether they're at another brokerage or they sit next to me at my current company. I kind of keep it the same with most people. So they kind of reached out. I sat down with him. He was the man. Like, he sold me real quick. He knew like everything about me when I sat down. Like, he was like very, he doesn't look at his phone. He's like very tuned in to what's going on with you, and he like cares, and he's very candid, and you can tell he's being honest with some of the things he like tells you, like on a personal level, on a business level. It's cool, man. You connect.
What's something that he told you that you're like, whoa, I didn't know you knew that about me?
He knew a little bit about my background. He knew some about like my sales numbers, some of my wins, like some of my press I had. He knew where I went to college, like stuff like that. A lot of people you meet with, like they're asking about you, they don't actually take the time to do like 15, 20 minutes of digging or, have someone do digging or whatever. So it was cool like that. I was like, okay, this is like, he's actually really dialed into like, making hires and stuff. I wasn't sure what to expect. The company was, announced probably like 2 weeks before I met with them.
And it was announced like right in the middle of COVID, like when everybody was telling him not to do it.
Yeah, he was zigging when everyone else was zagging. I mean, with his brand, it made a lot of sense. Like when I first saw it announced in The Real Deal, it was like, wow, this is pretty ballsy. In like my head, I was like, wow, I didn't really think of like reaching out to join or anything. And then, as I started like looking at it, and I think as most agents like really start pulling it apart and seeing like what's actually going on with the brokerage, it makes a lot of sense for him to do, because his brand just attracts like business like nonstop. And
it's a very powerful name.
Yeah, it's a great name. It's also, he's also known for ethics and being like pretty upfront with people. So like that, combination of things was just like, very attractive to me. And, of course he's got BME and, we got, it was cool. Like there's also different like verticals inside the company. There's the subscription, course with, like the sell like Serhant course. He's got like the media stuff, like the books. And, he's also got Serhant Studios, which is like, we have a full, studio team. These guys can make like motion pictures at this point in-house.
Yeah, no, we've seen it on the Instagram.
They're
awesome.
badasses. They're all young. It's, everyone's super nimble, and, it's cool because at other companies you have like these corporate guidelines, and we do in a way, but there's a lot of freedom to like kind of freestyle and just, kind of use the brand and like kind of make it your own.
We have corporate guidelines. Hi, Miss Donna Kane. How are you? I hope all
What's up, Donna? We're being good, I promise.
But that's awesome. Honestly, like going from a place where, switching and having like these new lights on you and stuff like that, like joining like the Serhant name and, being a part of that brokerage, like how was the transition? Did you like enjoy it right away? Were you like kind of sad that you like left?
No, it was very rejuvenating. I've been doing this for almost 12 years. So, and we've always been, my partner, Katie Thurber, and then,
shout out to Katie.
Shout out to Katie.
She's coming next week.
She's coming, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she's coming.
She had sold a building mostly with like Instagram influencers and stuff in Brooklyn. She did like 120 deals.
Yeah,
in like
we read
a year
that.
and a half.
It was
Yeah,
insane.
so
In a year and a half?
yeah, so we that was always kind of like our philosophy, was like we like to be edgy and make, kind of fun marketing initiatives and do something a little different, but make sure it works. And that's what Ryan's kind of doing with like the influencer marketing, social media, video. So that would just basically like, we just looked at it as like the perfect marriage of like our philosophies. So yeah, we were just like, wow, we're going to supercharge our like kind of marketing ideas. And, then we have like the platform where like millions of eyes could potentially get on any one of our videos or pictures or whatever. So it just made perfect sense for us.
The reason why I even asked that question is because when Niall came on last week, I don't know if whoever hasn't seen the video of when he transitioned to Serhant, he ripped off the Compass poster, and
Oh, yeah.
that's the reason the reason why I asked that question.
Okay. You got a little confetti here, by the way.
Oh, do I?
Oh, I wasn't going to tell him.
Oh, you were?
Come on, Sean.
All right.
Thank you. Now I can,
Sorry, I broke the golden rule of real estate and chill. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, as long as people, I think, Niall understands that whether people are saying something good or bad at you, as long as they're talking about you.
Any press is good press.
Yeah. So that was pretty edgy. I know a bunch of people. Well, if you just look at the comment section, a bunch of people are bent out of shape about it. But it is what it is. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but I was like highly entertained and I thought it was hilarious. And I had people, like sending me kind of hate mail on his behalf. And I was like, listen,
thanks,
man,
Niall.
I was like, if you're talking about it, it means it's working and it's going viral. So
yeah, it definitely caught our attention. I mean, he knows how to catch your attention. That's the thing.
Yeah.
His content is like,
awesome.
Yeah,
It's
really
awesome
good.
at it. Yeah.
Talking about new development, you have something new, right? The library condos.
Yeah, we have the library condos, Lower East Side. It's like a converted 1905 library. It's like, high ceilings, exposed brick, just like on Rivington Street off Allen, which is surrounded by bars and concert halls and like, all different types of stuff. They shut down the blocks down there now for parties and, it's like no car traffic a lot of places. So it's like a happening area. And, Ryan selected us to kind of market it because we're kind of like a downtown fun team. And, we're having great success with it. We're probably close to like, we're about 70% sold now.
Wow.
As of like today.
What's like, because Long Island real estate is totally different. Like you don't really see, median price here now, it's like $650, right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Out there, what is one of the units, like what are the price points?
Our lowest unit's like a little under 1.3 now. So that's like a 1-bedroom. But these are like, these are special units. They have really high ceilings. They have very low monthly carrying costs, like low taxes, stuff like that. So that kind of drives up the dollar amount on those. They have great finishes. It's new construction, which is like always a little bit of a premium on. And it's a small development too. So we're not like cannibalizing ourselves like some other buildings where they have like 200 units or something. Like we don't have to. All the units are different. There's no replica units in that.
Oh, so they're all
totally different.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's an old library building and it has like 3 floors built on top with penthouses and stuff. So.
Yeah, we were discussing off air that excuse me, I've never like been in a New York City like real estate. It's totally different from out here.
Yeah, it's it can be underwhelming too. Like sometimes it's like $1 million only gets you like a big studio or like a regular size 1-bedroom. So. But it also you can have like the sick properties, right? Like you can have like the big multi-million-dollar units, the sick views, as Katie says, the panty droppers.
What is your favorite listing that you've sold or property that you've sold to a buyer? And tell us a little bit about it too.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple. I mean, I just relisted now. I love this building, 71 Late. It's like an old loft conversion, and then they built a replica building on the other side of it. So the one's like a silver and one's a brick, and they're just like fused together around a courtyard, which is really cool. By Morris Adjmi is the architect. And then I sold one at 11 North Moore. That's a really, really nice apartment for like $7.5 million a few years ago. That's an awesome apartment in Tribeca. What else have I sold that I really like? I mean, I really like this library project we have. I mean, I think anybody would appreciate that. Like everybody who comes to New York is like, I want a loft or whatever. And like, that's what this is. And the neighborhood isn't typically known for having lofts. That's more like Soho or Tribeca or something or West Village. So this is like a kind of unique project for us. And the developer just absolutely, hit a home run.
You guys did like a press release too, right?
We did. Yeah, we had press. We were in Architectural Digest. We were in The Real Deal. We're like Mansion Global, stuff like that. A couple mentions here or there. But whenever Ryan's involved, you're going to get a press release.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we were like one of the first like real estate open house COVID, post-COVID kind of events. So we had like a killer opening event with like a jazz band on the roof and like, catering and all that stuff. So
yeah, it was pretty cool. That was the video that was on the Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was our launch party, so I had it documented for us. And it was great. We had like over 200 people. We did 5 contracts, probably off the strength of that party.
Dang.
So it was like 5 of 11 out the gate. So hopefully we'll have 8 done by like, next week. So we're almost there. We're almost fully sold out.
So even though you're in the city, you have, we were talking about this off air, you have Long Island ties.
I do have Long Island ties. I have a lot of family out here, Blue Point, Patchogue, Bellport. My parents live in Blue Point. So is my brother, sister-in-law, and niece. So, yeah, we're out. I'm out here quite a bit.
Where what's that bar that they own in Patchogue? Because a lot of our subscribers are probably been drunk or passed out at this place.
Okay, Brick House Brewery. My uncle was one of the original like partners, and still really heavily involved with running it, and he hangs out there all the time. It's a Brick House Brewery. It started like almost 25 years ago. It was like pretty much the first bar on Main Street in Patchogue. So that kind of set off like the chain reaction of like, Party Town USA, because Main Street in Patchogue, back when like my grandmother was alive, was like pretty bombed out. Like there was like nothing really going on there. And my uncle asked my dad to invest in the Brick House Brewery, and my dad like kind of passed it over.
Really?
And it just like took off, and then they started, they get their brew beer by like Blue Point Brewery. They're brewmasters, so they have good beer there. They don't distribute it, but so they started that, and then my cousin just opened up 2 new bars nearby, kind of chip off the old block. He opened up a bar right around the corner on South Ocean Avenue called the Great South Bar, and that's more of like a I won't call it like a dive bar. It's more of like a kind of Williamsburg, Greenpoint, Brooklyn vibe, and they killed it. They're killing it. Yeah, you guys should check that out too.
Yeah, be like, wait, we know Sean. Free drinks.
Drop them in. Hey, man. McPeak,
Put it on Sean's tab. Put it on Sean's tab.
You get the family discount.
So that's cool. Another thing that we were talking about, you also know Stephen King, who's one of my colleagues at the office.
Yeah. So he did a buy and sell for my brother, I think like 2 years ago. So my brother sold his place in Patchogue and then bought the place next door to my dad in Blue Point.
Nice. So shout out to Stephen King.
Yeah, shout out. It was funny when I saw him on the podcast. I was like, oh, nice. Great.
Isn't it such a small world? Because we were talking to Kit too, who's like, oh, I went to school with Stephen King.
Yeah. Well, he's everywhere, man. He's a king of homes. So
yeah,
King of homes. Shout out my man
got a
Steven.
good brand.
So what are some like projects that you're working on, or something exclusive that you're doing that you can bring up to?
What am I doing that's like exclusive? I'm rolling out all different types of content. So I have a couple different concepts for people on my team. I'm kind of like playing like a little bit executive producer on like the video stuff. So we're kind of rolling something out for Katie Thurber, Elizabeth Scandifio, who are two females on my team. We're going to do something. It's a working title. It's going to be called like Sip and List. So they're going to be like drinking wine and like, with like a bar owner or whatever, going to be talking about that, and then they're going to do like some neighborhood stuff, and then like take you into like a awesome property after they have a couple glasses of wine. So I'm calling it Sip and List. They don't like the name, but
Sip
whatever.
and
I like
List.
it. I like that name.
You like that?
I think it's a
Sip and
catchy name.
List.
If you have another one, man, just let me know. I'm all ears.
I like that
We'll
one.
brainstorm.
We'll
Brainstorm.
though.
Brainstorm.
But
Brainstorm.
Just
I think
marinate
it's
on
good.
that.
Yeah. How many members are on your team?
We got 6. We got 6 right now. So we got Kit, who's like our Brooklyn specialist. We got Katie Thurber, who's she's a killer. She's doing a lot of deals right now. She has heavy new development experience, which is like kind of our main forte. With Jordan March, who's
Amazing singer.
Yeah, he's a great singer. He's good. Don't buy too many of his albums, please. We need to sell property still. No, we got Jordan. Jordan grew a company from like 16 agents to like 450. He's like really good with lead gen systems, CRM, training agents. So that's like kind of like the main players. And then we have like Chris Rassam, who's worked at a hedge fund for almost 15 years, and he's like kind of like the financial analyst guy, amongst other things. But he's very, very good with buyers. He's very good with comps. He's doing a lot of deals in Jersey right now as well, which we've never really done before. So yeah, we got like a nice team that complements each other very well. So
like lead generation that you mentioned, you guys have to do a lot of lead generation, or just to come naturally from social media now?
We do both. I think social media definitely helps. Video content really helps. Personal branding through video is like kind of like the sell it like Serhant mantra. And that's like kind of what I'm doing for like all the agents on the team, is pushing that. But you kind of need to have a couple different lead sources, in New York City at least. You want to definitely, have your attorneys, your, interior designers, architects, and then like you have your social media. You can cold call if you want, or send mailers, whatever you do, targeting, all that stuff. But as long as you are getting a couple leads from each source every year, you're good to go. So I wouldn't just focus all on one.
We were watching the podcast on your Instagram, like a little clip that you posted that you were like on a team before, and then you just like, I guess, leveled up and created your own team.
Yeah, so I was on some big teams at Douglas Salomon. I was really fortunate, and then I went to Compass when it was Urban Compass, and then the Compass CEO and my manager there, Gordon, like they just like came up to me one day as I got my desk and my computer, and they're like, "Today's like the next step. It's like the next step in your career." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "You're starting the McPeak team today." I was like, "I am."
Let's go!
Oh,
so
man.
loud. Oh my gosh, you got the loud
It
ones.
literally sound like a gunshot.
Yeah, no, right? It's like an M80 in a car. Man. So these guys at Compass really pushed me and just helped me. They had someone for me to work with who came into office and like, we just think it's a good idea, and we know teams generate more money, and it's better for the company, it's better for you, and yeah, that's kind of how I started it. And I've been lucky to just like get some really good people and hold on to people for a long time too. So.
What would be your advice to like agents thinking about joining a team? Because some agents don't, right? And then they get stuck and they don't do any volume.
Yeah, I mean, you got to like really be honest with yourself of where your business is at. If you do not have, if you do not have like a lead pipeline, like if some people do, like some people's parents were in real estate, or their dad's a mortgage guy or something for the last 40 years, and he can like send you leads or other referrals or whatever, that's great. But if you don't have that, I highly suggest joining a team with someone you get along with on a personal level, and your kind of personalities mesh, and then you kind of feed off their business, you learn the business from them, and you can kind of generate business on your own while working on theirs, generating some income, and just kind of building your own kind of book of business off of that. And sometimes it's so good you never leave. I mean, some of these big teams in New York City, like they have the same people for 10 plus years. Like they never leave because it's just so good.
Now, starting a team is not an easy thing to do. So I have a team out here as well.
Okay.
So we want to congratulate you and pop this bottle over here for a celebration. Okay. So while Mike does that.
All right.
There you go.
Mr. Mike.
Thanks. Only getting recognized, huh?
Finally, right? Come on, Mike. What the heck? Where's your big money energy? Pop it open.
So you have a somebody who you refer to as a financial analyst type-esque person on your team.
Yeah.
Can you give me any advice on Bitcoin or
on Bitcoin? Yeah, he can give you advice on that. I mean, I'll give you some advice. Definitely, buy and hodl that right now. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin. I do. We talk a lot about crypto. It's funny. I have a one-on-one with Ryan like every month. And I just schedule it and just like, just a quick like half-hour download. You just get through a bunch of topics and talk about like business and company building. But we just started talking about like NFTs and crypto for like a solid like 10 minutes. And he was like, "Can you believe this NFT shit?" And I was like, "Not really," but and we're like, "Is it a fad?" Like, yeah, it's definitely hot right now. It's like somebody just dropped $1 million on a rock that like someone drew. And
actually,
yeah, no, I see it on Instagram.
Yeah, so like I've heard. So we were like talking about different things, and I have friends overseas that are pretty smart people, and they're like, yeah, we think a lot of like money laundering is kind of going on with some of these things or whatever. But I mean, in terms of like a licensing function, it's smart. But in terms of Bitcoin or Ethereum's taken off today. I think it's a good thing to have, especially with like inflation right now and some other stuff going on. You see some bubbles forming and other parts of the conventional economy, I would call it, versus crypto. So definitely buy some. I mean, definitely have some. Like, why not?
I think like against like hedging against the government inflating our dollar to the point of like 8% or whatever it was, like whatever numbers are coming out with. Like, I think that Bitcoin is obviously like a good hedge of like keeping your money in, but also, hard assets like real estate as well too. And that's why I feel like we've been seeing like more investors hitting the market in some parts of Long Island and stuff like that, which I really see as, a smart thing to do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think this is the time for people who are worried about inflation to really just kind of slide into real estate. And, definitely this is a good place to put your money when it's, there's inflation. So
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To the McPeak team.
To the McPeak team.
All right.
So we've been seeing.
So wait a second. We got champagne. We got stripper guns, but but no strippers.
I gotta bleep that out. I'm a married man.
I said no strippers. Donna, if you're listening, there's no strippers in here. Unless Mike's hiding them out.
And we have the BME on the table. I mean, we got so much confetti,
Yeah, man,
champagne. Well, it's apple cider. We don't condone drinking and driving out here, but
He took an
love
Uber.
it.
He's all right.
I love it. It's cool. I like it. I like the energy.
One thing that I saw on MLS out here is in the agent remarks, right? It said the seller will accept Bitcoin. Have you seen that out there or no?
Yeah. So we actually just closed on a townhouse yesterday where the sellers had voiced an interest in accepting Bitcoin. I think just it's kind of like a marketing gimmick at some, in some aspect, but also like when Bitcoin starts ratcheting up, everyone's like, I'll sell anything for Bitcoin, But the problem is that it's an unstable currency, right? So what if it drops right before the closing or whatever? So I think a lot of lawyers would shoot down that deal, just in the interest of protecting their client.
How boring.
I know. Stupid lawyers, Always
Who needs them?
Ruining our fun. But it's also like how you're going to pay your, taxes, commissions, all this other stuff that like comes out of a transaction. So, in other countries like Argentina, like they use dollars instead of their pesos because it's like so, volatile. So, I think it's always going to probably come down to some type of stable currency, I'd say. But I mean, listen, if someone's going to agree to do it, they're going to sell it. I mean, in Silicon Valley, people trade stock for houses. So, I mean,
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It's crazy.
You think they'd trade confetti for a house? We could bring some of that.
Confetti.
What's one of the biggest listings, price point wise, that you've listed and sold?
I sold probably something for about 16 million a few years ago.
Like, what's the difference between marketing that and like a unit, like an apartment at the library condos?
There's a lot of similarities between like a library condo, just because it's a new development. But I'd say like with the higher price points, it's mostly, real estate isn't about real estate to me. It's like about the people, and you're really managing their personality and their expectations and how much they want to be communicated with, and how they want to be communicated with. So I would say that's the main difference with the marketing is, you're going to spend more on a bigger listing. It's going to take longer than a smaller listing. And you're going to be expected to spend more. Like they're going to, the seller's going to have to see some motion in the ocean when you're doing that. So you probably have to figure out some press. You're going to have to, do a little extra with photos. You have to get a little creative. I mean, for me, like we'll get a little creative on the back end with social media, with video, whatever. So
Might have to do a little bit of a sip and list.
Sip and list. Yeah. That's a working title, So
What are other titles that they had out there?
It was like it's mostly me. It's mostly me just coming out. It was like women, wine, and real estate or something. Like I was like, that was like my sipping list has been like the one that's like etched to my mind. I've kind of had like writer's block on that one.
So when she comes, we'll be like, so how's sip and list?
I know. I have we have like a script written out and everything now, and like we're gonna be filming that thing. We tried to do it the other day, but Katie's like been doing insane amount of deals, so she hasn't been able. It was so hot the other day, like it was like 100 degrees out. So we're like, we're not filming outside. Like when it's 100, it's not happening. We just wait a week or two.
Oh, and it's about to pour today too, or something.
Yeah, no,
The weather has been crazy.
Yeah, this has been a really wet summer. Yeah,
it's crazy. On my birthday, it was like supposed to be a hurricane, but it passed away, thankfully. But
happy birthday!
Thank you. Yeah, like a week ago. But I don't know. The weather's been crazy. But question.
Yes.
No more about the weather. But so what does your typical day look like? I'm sure you travel a lot and like you're going from like place to place in the city.
Yeah, I'm all over the city. I average probably about 17,000 steps a day.
Wow.
I walk a lot. I actually city bike a lot now because of the pandemic. I like that. But I'm up early. I just automatically, the older I get, the earlier I get up. It's weird.
What time do you wake up? Can I guess?
Yeah. Like guess.
1:30 a.m.
What? In the city that never sleeps.
I know. I'm not going to call that a good guess. No, I'm like up like 4:35 typically.
That's pretty early. I wake up at 6.
Yeah, 6 is good. I mean, 6 is fine. I mean, that's when I used to wake, but now I just naturally get up. I don't have an alarm. I'm just up.
Do you have like an hour of power? Do you do something like you go to the gym or do you go bike riding?
No, I hit the gym. Yeah, I hit the gym or just like I'll go outside. I'll just, when it's nice out, I'll just like exercise a little bit outside and then like walk around the neighborhood and like grab a coffee or whatever. And then I try not to start working until like, a couple hours after I wake up because like then you get to like 11 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like I've been working for almost 8 hours right now. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
You can't really do that. So, just take like some me time in the morning, just get a little organized and then start my day like, really around like 7:38.
We asked Niall this question when he came on, but what were your thoughts when people were saying like the city's dead, like New York City real estate is dead? Because Long Island wise, everybody was. It was like a wave. It was like a stampede of people who were coming from out here.
And still,
yep.
A lot of people have tried to write New York City's obituary. It's like a unkillable organism. But it's the city's fine. It's really, to me, it's just like leadership issues. But it's just mismanagement. Like most things, most problems in a good country like this is just mismanagement. Yeah, I didn't view it as dead. I spent most of my time during like the first quarantine situation out here, just because I couldn't show. So at that point,
oh, you were in Long Island?
Yeah, I was out here in Blue Point for a couple months. But there was like, like if you can't show, like what are you gonna do? And then they, at one point we had you weren't even allowed to FaceTime from inside a building.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
It's the dumbest thing
Can't do
ever.
virtual.
I didn't even know you could. I didn't even know that was a thing.
I was like, I remember speaking to my manager. And I was like, so I can't go and FaceTime somebody from an apartment when nobody else is even in the building. Forget the apartment. And they're like, you can't do that. And I was like, okay, this is just stupid now. I was like, the city's not dead. There's just, we just, are being run. Maybe a serial killer was in charge. I don't know. But so it was, it kind of sucked. I wouldn't call it dead. I knew New York City would survive if it was just a little scarred, It sucks it really is. The people that got hit the hardest were like the small business owners. Anybody who was in the service industry got crushed, but a lot of other people made a ton of money. People work from their laptop. They're doing great. People who had money in the markets, they ended up doing well. So
whoever bought Dogecoin is doing well. I sold out, unfortunately.
I sold out on my Doge. I did fine on it, but I didn't do like whatever.
No money there. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm out of money. That almost just hit me in the eye. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So man.
So you spent some time in Long Island. What are your go-to spots when you're out here?
I hit mostly like my family spots, like Sayville Athletic Club, in Sayville by the train over there.
Oh, you own that too?
Yeah. My cousin started that. He's got some partners over there, so I go there a lot. I go to Great South Bar a lot. Painters, used to go there a lot.
Oh, I know Painters.
Yeah, the Bellport, that's a good restaurant. We have friends that own that. I mostly, I'm here. I'm not here all the time, so I mostly frequent like places where people I know are at. And then like Fire Island, I used to work at the casino in Davis Park.
Really?
So I'll go up there and say what's up to the homies.
Yeah. So you were mentioning before, now with that Serhant, brand next to you.
Yeah.
It comes with a lot of luxuries. Like, what's one of the craziest things where like you've emailed somebody or somebody's like, oh, I know that guy. He's on works for Serhant.
Yeah. It's cool when you're kind of testing out like different tools and stuff. There's like a million things for real estate and tech and email plugins and this and that. So like I just enjoy kind of like that world and just like testing out stuff like that. So when you kind of email them and, you're kind of like, hey, like, we were thinking about using this. Sometimes they'll give you like a awesome demo or a free subscription or like an extended trial or something. So that was like one thing that was pretty surprising. And then just like not having this guy as your competition in New York City is awesome because he's been in every apartment, spoken to every developer, so it's better just to like kind of, eat the crumbs from his table. Like when you're prospecting for business or like, pitching developments and stuff, it makes it a lot easier. So like, that's been really nice. It's just like, oh yeah. They're like, well, we love Ryan. Like we did a project with him a while ago. Like we didn't even consider his new company. Come by, let's talk. And you're kind of like a package deal with him, So it's that, in that respect, it's been great,
That's pretty cool.
Doors open quick. Yeah, it's cool.
They all open.
Yeah.
So we put up like an Instagram story that you were coming by, and people had a couple of questions. We picked out some questions.
Oh, really?
Rapid fire questions.
Oh, God.
You ready for this?
I bet there's one from Niall in there.
Now it's off the walls. All right. Number one question was, how hard was it building a team?
It's hard. I mean, I think the hardest part for me actually, outside of just like getting brokers to work, was like hiring an assistant, hiring like an admin. I had a lot of trial and error with that. I kind of discovered, at least in this city, there's like sometimes there's like a shelf life with an assistant. They'll last like 18 months or something like that, or 9 to 18 months roughly. That can be very difficult to find somebody who's like ambitious enough to answer emails after 5 o'clock and that doesn't want to necessarily be a broker in 3 months or be you or whatever. Like that's like the kind of balance you need to find. So that's probably like the toughest part for me, was just learning how to hire and, just learning how to like identify professional interviewers and actors and not like real actual people. Because sometimes people can blow your doors off, but you really gotta dig and you gotta do like follow up and like put them through like a stress test to like see if they're for real.
Second question, good stuff by the way. What does big money energy mean to you?
Big money energy is like just positivity, attracting the best people for the right reasons. To help you either get to the next level in your life, your career, or, to help you, connect the dots and make your next deal. So it's a subtle, like, big money energy is more like, it's like subtle, attractive energy, that other people want to be around and other people want to like return and reciprocate.
All right, this is the most randomest question that popped up, but I thought it was pretty funny.
Right.
If you were in the Matrix, would you take the blue pill or the red pill?
Red pill.
Why?
I don't even know what each pill
You've
does.
never watched the Matrix?
I've like seen parts of it. I don't watch it.
gosh.
All right, I'm a loser. All right, I'm sorry.
How old are you, Sean?
I'm 34.
All right, so I'm 31. He's the baby out the group.
Yeah, you're 22, right?
Nah, 23.
Oh, happy birthday! See, that was the episode I watched like 3 weeks ago. It's already, I'm already behind the ball here.
I was gonna say like 29, but I don't know if you believe it. Maybe I look 29. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I believe. I mean, whatever. I don't know. We all look the same after a certain age.
I think COVID hit him harder than you and I.
All right, yo, you don't gotta roast me. Yo, he already said I don't look like a model. I know I don't. You don't gotta rub it in my face.
Yeah, I asked Sean if you considered modeling, and everybody looked at me like I was weird. The guy looks like a model. He's like almost 6'5".
Listen, we don't touch on this. Cancel culture is a real thing. Let's move on to the question.
I'm not going to cancel you for calling me a model.
Just saying. I mean, if real estate doesn't work, you could.
Yo, you're so. Move on to the next question.
Yeah, this whole real estate thing doesn't work out. I can model for like LL Bean or something.
Good brand, by the way.
Good brand for middle-aged men.
When's your birthday?
January 20th.
Oh, so it's coming up.
What is that? Capricorn?
Yeah.
I got it right.
Yeah, I'm like a cusp. I don't know. I'm not into that stuff.
I'm a Leo.
You're a Leo.
I hear this all the time because every time I'm with my girlfriend, she always asks somebody what their sign is. So I hear the dates or whatever, and now
Does she ask them like what time of day they were born?
No, she doesn't do that.
You're good then.
It's a little
You're good.
extensive.
Yeah, I mean it's my sister and my girlfriend. Whenever they ask those
Because
questions,
when they do
like,
that, it's a little one of these. Little red flag.
nah, she always just. I remember like she always just like her and her best friend and then my sister. They always ask like what is somebody's zodiac sign is. I don't know why, but I mean it's cool. I mean I'm not the biggest believer, but I just go with the flow,
Yeah, whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't really follow that stuff.
He's not into it, all right? Drop the question.
Not that I'm not into it. I'm just like, I don't know. I've never looked into it. Oh, my
gosh. Was there any other questions from the Instagram?
No, that was the top 3 that I thought were the best questions.
Okay.
Well, we got off topic. Why would you pick the red pill?
Oh, I would just want to go down the rabbit hole and figure out the truth, man. And, just jump out of the matrix.
All right.
Just be Neo.
Yeah, yo, they're making they're rebranding it. No, they're bringing it back. From what I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I love the Matrix.
Yeah, I love Neo songs. He's such a good singer. R&B. Love R&B. I don't even know any of the names, but this is something you guys.
Matrix is before your time. I mean, Matrix probably came out.
What year did that come out?
Maybe it was 1999. I remember my mom took like me and my cousins to go see it on like Easter one year, or like Easter break, out here on the island. I remember it might have been 99. The first one came out, or 2000.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but then it came out with 2 more. But yeah, it's a lot of philosophy and like ancient philosophy. If you like really dig into the Matrix, it's pretty wild.
Watched like parts.
You
of it.
never
I know
seen,
like the
you never
whatever,
yeah,
like, the crazy
exactly.
stuff.
Well, that changed the game for like special effects and
that was
stuff. But there's
insane.
also like the movie's like so like deep. There's a lot of different ways to like kind of look at the plot. So
I know John
We
Wick.
should do a Matrix
Matrix
promo
on real
clip.
estate?
Yeah, maybe we should confetti at you and you're just like,
Yo, well, you just did that to me. I just want like.
I think you blew my eardrum out.
I'm sorry, man. I told you the show is just very random.
No, that's cool. It's all right. It's all right.
Are you guys doing any like open houses at the library condos, or like how is that? Is that private appointment only? Or
Yeah, mostly private. The first like month and a half, we really couldn't do like weekend showings. It's a construction site still. I mean, it's a good construction site. The developer's awesome. Like they run a tight ship there. But we couldn't show the first, probably like 6 weeks on the weekends, and we don't have like open houses typically on the weekend for that.
do you guys do lock boxes out there, like with vacant properties?
No, we always show up in person. We always have someone in person, and if it's a property like that, it's like me. It's like one of like the leadership members of the team. So Katie, Jordan, me, like we're always there.
Another cool thing that you said, so you teach classes at Serhant as well, right? Or
Yeah, so I'm like part of the Sell Like Serhant mentorship program. So I basically have like a mastermind Tuesday Zoom class with like all these super successful brokers from Canada and United States.
Oh, wow.
It's cool because like everyone either owns a brokerage. There's guys that are like mini Ryan Serhants that are like in the class. Like they have 15,000 Instagram followers. They're putting up tons of content on YouTube and everything. Like they're juggernauts. Very impressive amount of knowledge. And so the one I teach is like the very advanced class, and it's just like it's not like I'm teaching. It's more like an open forum, and the people are just like crowdsourcing like insane knowledge from different markets and stuff. So it's been really cool. I learn a lot from it.
So content is king, basically.
Content is king for real estate brokers. So if you're going to be doing content, you want to think like personal brand via video is like really put all your big dollars into that. Like if you're going to spend money, like do that, gift clients, whatever, do events, but you're going to want to brand yourself on video. It's like you're cold calling 500 people at the same time. Like it's the best possible thing you can do for yourself to introduce yourself. People feel like they know you when they show up. For everybody. I mean, for mortgage brokers on like TikTok.
Yeah.
Have you seen these people? Like
I've seen
Margot and like Fiona and all these girls. Like they are crushing it, and they're doing deals in every single state now.
Yeah. Honestly, you know what's crazy? Like I didn't really use TikTok like that until recently. Yeah. But from now, like I've been expanding more on social media. Like when I started, like when I was done with school and I was like, all right, I can actually go full force on this.
Yeah.
I started putting out content, stuff like that. Obviously, it's not always as like fun as like going to a property, like showing the property, stuff like that. I'm like sitting at a desk or like just like walking around talking about something and like educating. So, sometimes some people might not find it as interesting. So I've been having that little, problem of like trying to make this like a fun thing where like people would want to learn it. So, just taking after like people like that,
You should check out, I don't know if you ever use Clubhouse, but there's
I did use Clubhouse.
All right, so a lot of these people are on there, and they share a lot of secrets, and I've been in touch with a bunch of like just mortgage people, because to me, it's like a very bland subject that they just made explode.
Yeah.
And I just think it's more like about getting attention and stuff than it is talking about products and like, terms or contracts or like how, transacting. So I think it's very impressive. They can just take something that's like, very vanilla and just spice it up, and like everybody's like tuning in. It's great, and again, tons of referrals.
I need to. I'm going to show you my TikTok page. I have some drafts. I want you to look over them for me
Draft?
and tell me if I should put them out or not.
Let them rip, man. I say just let them rip, man. Trial. It's this social media marketing stuff. There's no degrees. There were no degrees in it. It didn't even exist. It barely existed when I graduated college. So it's like trial and error. Like most marketing, most good marketing is trial and error.
Yeah.
You just got to gather that data, and then like you figure it out, and then whatever. But you can make a TikTok about mortgages. It's not really about mortgages. It's about just like getting people's attention.
Right.
And people are gonna want to work with you for your personality and
Yeah. Just get the eyes on you, and then they'll reach out. So.
And the podcast was so great about it, and you guys were like, as soon as we reached out, you're like, yeah, I'm 100% in.
Yeah.
Like it was so cool about it. You know what I mean? We can network with you guys, because if we get a New York City lead, like he called me the other day with a New York City lead, and I'm like, Call Sean. What the heck?
All right.
But it's like a referral base. You know, if I have something out there, I could be like, hey, Sean, you know, take care of this. And
Yeah, man. No, totally. Same thing for here. I mean, yeah, I mean, in real estate, it's a contacts game. If you're not networking, you're not working, you know. But social media kind of makes it so you can network during a pandemic and like
Makes it fun too.
yeah, it does make it fun. Yeah. So I mean, especially when you got like an awesome studio like this, like
I
you guys
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks to EPM Real Estate Photography, by the way. They're the ones
man,
who put
you
this
guys
all
are-
together.
Yeah, you guys are the real deal out here. So,
Cosign. We got to cut that clip. B&B, big money energy.
yeah, I mean, you guys are. Yeah, I mean, you guys are doing the right thing. I mean, I think a lot of brokerages should have like a content studio in them. You know, so that's my philosophy. It definitely
How
works.
big is the Serhant building?
It's like 15,000 square feet. I want to say
How many stories?
it's like 4.
4 stories.
We got a roof. There's like a basement.
I hope you got a roof.
No, you can like go on the roof and there's like a giant billboard.
Oh, really?
Above it. Yeah, I think they just put up like some Apple.
You don't get
thing.
the NYC logo. All right. That wasn't funny. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, his jokes are always bad.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, man. I mean, like, the one thing we're missing, we told Ryan the other day, is like you need to have your face on it. So there's no picture of him anywhere in the whole building. The whole building's like a giant billboard. It's like a multi-million-dollar billboard, effectively.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, like, really, it's because it's on the Holland Tunnel approach. So it's like Broome Street, and then you have like a ton of traffic going back to Jersey. And it's like you have like thousands of people just sitting there staring at Serhant every single day. But, you know, it's funny. I did like a game show kind of concept the other day, and I was outside the office, and I was like asking people questions on the street and like kind of recording.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll show it to you guys after like the draft. You give me some notes. But
Exclusive.
they're like, Serhant, like, there's a lot of people that didn't know Serhant, but then I explained it to them. They're like, oh, Ryan's Serhant. Oh, so we gotta get Ryan's pearly whites on there. So we'll get them on the building.
You need some confetti. You need some money guns. You need
Yeah,
a lot of all this.
I think we got a stripper gun somewhere.
I can't even comment on that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just busting your
Kevin
chops.
started laughing and then just stopped laughing.
Yeah, I had to stop.
I know.
I shouldn't be laughing at that joke.
I know. Donna's got a watchful eye. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got all types of stuff in there. I mean, it's super fun. You know what's cool about the company is like you can actually go back with feedback and they'll react very quickly.
Really?
Yeah. When they hear a good idea, they run with it.
You know what's cool is that, so you guys have basically like creative freedom there, right? Because some companies will be like, well, what's a podcast about? Let me screen it first. And then you go, you guys are just like, I'm out.
Yeah, clearly your podcast is not getting screened.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment or not, but we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, like if we did a podcast, like it would be somewhat screened. We're building a podcast studio out in the house right now, which should be cool. Excited to see you with that. I was told Good Morning America quality, so we'll see.
It's definitely not me and Kevin.
No, man, this is awesome, man. This is like actually what I had envisioned. It's not easy to find a place like this in New York City, believe it or not.
No, I was talking about just like in terms of what do you call it? Just like the speaking wise, like me and Kevin just go bouncing off walls and just like say the randomest stuff. I don't really have like a speaking voice. Like I don't have a podcast voice. I have like I don't know. I just have, like,
You have
a
good
weird-
sound quality though, so I mean, I think it.
Shout out to you, Mike. Shout out to
Yeah,
EPM
man.
for making me sound good.
Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, these are Rode mic. These are good. These are good to go. No, it sounds great. I mean, I listened to a bunch of shows and watched a couple and stuff before I came. I was like, oh wow, the quality's great. You know?
$1 million question. Are you subscribed?
Yeah, of course.
You subscribe. Wow. Yep. I'm all out, people.
There you go.
I got YouTube. I got Spotify. I got you.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Anything else you could leave us off with, man? We appreciate you coming by.
Any tips to some new realtors who are hitting the market?
New advice.
Yeah.
My advice is definitely start figuring out your content. Everything on YouTube is there's tutorials for everything. Don't spend too much money on your setup. You know, make a commitment to production quality if you're going to do it. But definitely just put one foot in front of the other. You know, you have a microphone and a camera in your pocket 24/7. Use it. Just use it. Introduce yourself to the world. Collaborate with other people who are doing content. It could be a pizza store down the block. It could be your mortgage, your loan officer. It could be anybody to help you kind of grow your audience and to get your message out there and to kind of just learn how to do it. It's trial and error. Don't be afraid. Just take that first step. Take that first step. We have so many people in the Sell Like Serhant course where we're just like pushing them to just make the first freaking video. Just do it. And then, oh my God, 2 weeks later, I've got my first multi-million-dollar listing for $2.7 million. I get like emails and like Slack messages like this, like all the time, like just good results from just starting. It's just starting, it works. It really does work. So just personal branding through video content and, sign up for Sell Like Serhant. I got a link in my bio. Just go for it.
Yeah, we'll have all your plugins.
I got their DM, by the way. I DM'd them and they contacted me back.
Oh, that? Yeah.
Yeah. So
they have an awesome team. They're like a hardcore community-based marketing. So like once you're in the Facebook group and all that stuff, you'll see like all like the magic of how like they retain people. And
I don't know how much it costs me. I'm like, I know Sean. What do you mean? I put it on his tab.
I got like a discount. I got a discount. It depends what you want to do, man. Listen, they do some badass stuff. They'll do like full brand audit for you. Like they'll do like, it depends how much you can spend money if you want to like get the Serhant services or whatever. But you don't like, not most people don't have to, but some people who are like, in the business 15 years and are trying to get into social media and stuff, they're going to, spend $15K on, revamping their brand, like getting their personality out there, just figuring this stuff out, even though they're already like, very much successful in their market. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's my advice.
Last question. What do you rate this book out of 5?
Out of 5? It's a 5-star. It's a 5-star book.
This is a 5-star book, people.
It's a 5-star book.
Buy it now.
If you're in the business, honestly, it's an awesome book for any business. So there's a lot of good anecdotes in there.
With that being said, we got to end it off with big money energy. You ready?
Yeah.
Well, Sean, we appreciate you coming by. Where can people reach out to you?
You can hit me up on the gram at Sean_McPeak and Sean.McPeak@Serhant.com. Come by anytime. Email me, text me, whatever.
Is there like security guards over there, or
no?
Just walk in like, I know Sean.
I mean, the door is, the door is like, magnetic, but if you look like you didn't sleep outside yesterday, you can come in.
You can't come. All right.
All right.
Ouch. Thank you so much, Sean.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it.
All right,
Cue the outro.
Thank you for tuning in to the Real Estate and Chill podcast with James Chaudhry and Kevin Iglesias. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this with your friends, your enemies, your mother-in-law. No, seriously, this podcast is so fucking good, you might want to tell your ex. See you next time.